Ooh, what's good, everybody? Welcome to the Black Ninja Squad. It's your boy Justin LaRoche, and today we're going to be going over a few basic tips for some beginners out there, or for people that are looking to get out of the beginner stuff and start getting into a little bit more advanced, well, like medium to advanced stuff. Right? We're not at super spicy salsa yet. It's still pretty mild. There's only like one chili in here, but we're going to be using today base Vegeta and Tien to show these points off. So if these are your characters, you're welcome. If not, tough. It's still is valid. Anyway, some of the things we're going to be looking at today are how to extend a combo using an assist. We're also going to be looking at the basic technique of what a jump cancel is. And we're going to be learning about how to optimize air combos for some characters. There's obviously characters out there that have very, very, very unique properties in their air normals. Base Vegeta is pretty simple when it comes to that. Obviously, I'm not going to be doing the loop stuff. That is a different video. That's way more advanced than this. That's all about timing and stuff. Not worried about that. But all we're worried about is learning how to essentially get out of the habit of just mashing out light at all times. Now, it is a very important tool to do mashing out light in the air, as you'll see here. But we want to kind of get out of that rhythm for certain parts of the air combo. So let's get started. The first important step is learning how to use an assist to extend any combo. So let's say, for example, we have this beautiful 21 here, and we have our base Vegeta, and we at least have Tien alive, right? In this case, what we want to do is, like any, the confront zone, we want to get them up in the air, right? We want to mash out. This is a good time to mash out a light combo. And then we want to, as soon as we finish hitting that last light button, we want to go immediately into a calling in Tien's assist. So as soon as you finish pressing that boom, 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 that third button, go to the Tien assist. This is definitely something that you will probably need to practice over and over again. It's fine. It makes sense. This game does require you to put in practice, so it's okay to do it. So let's see what that looks like. And what that's going to allow us to do, as you saw, is as we're still coming down and we have completely recovered and we're back into neutral, it's going to allow us to do a 2H to knock our opponent back up in the air to continue our air combo. And that's important because in this game, as we all know, the more damage you can get off in any given combo, the better, because that means that you need to essentially punish them for less stupid stuff that they do, and that just makes a better result for you in the end when it comes down to who's going to win this match. Because if you only need to capitalize on about 4 or 5 mistakes for their 3 characters, and they need to capitalize on about 20 of them, and your neutral game's a little better than them, well, then we know who's going to win that match, right? So what we saw there is Tien's assist come out, and we see that it has that very unique property where it knocks them back up, and kind of puts them in a stasis mode where they're moving around, and it's like, oh, that just hit me, but they're still very, very, very vulnerable to an attack, and that's where that 2H comes from. Now, some of you that are a little more advanced are saying, well, Justin, the Roshi, you don't need to do the light. You can do light, medium, heavy, and then do the down heavy on the ground. Yes, you are correct. You can do that. What that kind of looks like is this. We'll get to that last part a little later. But yes, you are correct. You can theoretically do that. So I would suggest you practice both. I don't remember if one does more damage than the other. I'm sure I could test it, but so can you, especially with whatever team that you're playing with. I highly suggest that you test everything out. This is only a basic combo guide, or basic guide in general about mechanics in the game. But what we're going to stick with in this video is just the basic light, assist, down heavy in the air, follow them up. That's all we're going to worry about in this, right? That's all she wrote for that. Now that we have them up in the air, what we want to do is essentially just press the heavy button again, to follow them up in the air. It's just a super dash. You don't need to press the super dash button again. All you need to do is just press the heavy button again, and you're following them off to the races, right? It's as simple as that. Now, the next important thing that we need to recognize is that some characters' air combos can be optimized by mixing up what button input you put in. For example, light, medium, heavy does 2500 right there, 2530. Now, let's say, for example, instead of doing light, medium, heavy, we did light, light, light. Let's see what that looks like. 2530, about the same, right? Now, how can we get a little bit more out of this? Well, what if we did medium, light, heavy? What would that look like? Well, that's 30 more damage. I'm not that great at math, but I think that's 30 more damage right there. Now, what does that mean? That means that's less things that you need to punish them for. That means they're a little bit more scared about their health bar. That means they're closer to that 1% that you're looking for. That means a whole lot of things that you're looking for. You're looking to get them real scared about how long you got them in the air and how much damage each hit is taking. This takes advantage of a mechanic in the game that I cannot remember off the top of my head, but essentially in the air, certain characters, not all, benefit from you switching up what buttons you press out first. I know Tien's an example of that. Obviously the Vegetas are an example of that. I'm pretty sure Trunks is an example of that. Some characters do a little differently, and you can, once you get to really know your character, you can do some crazy nonsense with them. But we're sticking with the bases, and this is just an example of why you should not always mash out the light auto combo in every instance, because sometimes it's going to benefit you from practicing something a little out of the norm for your character. And in this case, we're inching out 30 more damage by, instead of doing light, medium, heavy, by just doing medium, light, down, heavy. So that's that. But what if we want to extend that combo even more? Well, like the game tells you in the beginning, you have the opportunity to do another jump while you're in the air. And that same principle applies for when you're doing an air juggle in the middle of a combo, in the middle of an air combo. And what essentially that means is that if I can get it off right, that right there, what essentially that means is after that heavy, instead of a heavy, we're going to change it to a down heavy to continue the juggle, to continue to keep them upwards, right? So we're going to get out the habit of just matching heavy at the end. We're going to do that second down heavy because we haven't used that air jump yet, right? So we want to continue that. We want to continue that damage that we want to do. Once you do that down heavy, once that animation comes out, what you want to immediately do is press 9, or obviously if you're playing with the keyboard, that's the notation. But you want to press up forward, right? That's what you want to do. As soon as that animation for that down heavy comes out, you want to go into that up forward, because then that's going to allow your character to cancel that animation of that down heavy and go immediately up, and then press whatever button that you want to press after that to continue the air combo. Now, that's utilizing your air jump, but if you've already used your air jump even before this combo has happened, then obviously you're not going to be able to do this. But in this combo, you have not used that air jump. So that's something that is definitely on the table still, so you want to take advantage of that 1000%. So let's take advantage of it. It's all about using the mechanics to your benefit so you can get as much damage and as much good stuff out as possible. So boom, 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 jump cancel right from there, right? You saw the down heavy come out, and I went immediately into that jump cancel. You can see it right there. You can slow down the video if you need to. You can rewind that part if you need to. But as soon as that animation for that down heavy comes out, it's like climbing stairs, like down heavy, up, down heavy, up. Just practice that in the air. You don't even need to do all this complicated stuff either. If you want to just try out a simpler version, that's all you have to do. Is just start with a standing heavy on the ground. And the same principles apply, right? Because we haven't used that second jump yet. You know, we use this in our, you know, in our neutral game all the time. So why not use it in your combos, right? This is something, you know, for those that are new, obviously this is not something for people that have been playing this game for a while, but for those that are new, why not use that to your advantage, right? So that's where we're at right now. We just learned how to do the jump cancel, and then from there, we're gonna go back into the light auto combo. However, instead of doing 3 of them, we're only gonna do 2, and then immediately after the second one, we're gonna do a 2H. Now, you're asking me, well, why is that? Well, we still want to use the properties of the light auto combo, which allows us to it's better if I show you. So what the air, I don't know if I already explained this. If I did, I apologize, but we're going to explain this again then, if that's the case. What the air light combo allows your character to do. You saw how Vegeta was essentially creeping up, like as I was pressing the button. I didn't press, as you can see on the side, I didn't press any motion thing, right? I didn't tell him to creep back up. All I did was mash the light auto combo. What that allows you to do, as you see sometimes, because you're mashing the air light combo all the time, you're leveling up with them to kind of meet them eye to eye, and some characters kind of go a little above them as well. But you just has that case where he goes a little above them, but it's down heavy, compensates for that. That's a different story. Don't worry about that. But what that allows us to do is get to a level where we feel comfortable enough to do then a down heavy, and then we have enough space to climb back up to do whatever else we need to do. So, obviously for some characters this isn't applicable, for others it is, for others you know, you have to know your character. But for base Vegeta in this combo, it's actually not a bad idea to try that out. So what that looks like is like this, right? So medium, light, down heavy, climb, light, light, and then from there, medium, light, down heavy, light, light. Oh. I'm just going to say it now, and then you can see it as it's going. Medium, light, down heavy, climb, light, light, down heavy. Boom. Alright? And obviously we don't want to finish that combo like this. Now, you should only do this last part if you have a bar. If you don't have a bar, then just go for a regular down, or just go for a regular H to knock them back on the ground so you can get some Oki. Everything is cool. But if you have that bar, what you want to do after that is go straight into Vegeta's level 1 super. Now, the interesting thing about base Vegeta's down heavy is it actually puts them perfectly where he needs them to be for his air level 1 to go. Because as you'll notice, Vegeta's air level 1 actually bounces them up even a little bit more because of his small stature. So because his air down heavy kind of bumps him up a little bit, that's okay. That's exactly where we want them to be, because that's going to allow us to jump up that his regular air level 1 already does, so that we have them perfectly on our side and we can kill them with it. So let's see what this whole combo and this whole rigmarole looks like. Boom. Right? And that's what we're looking at, right? So instead of, these combos that you guys are doing out there, where you're only getting about 40,000 or whatever, we now have, that's half, that's almost half their health bar, if not like a little bit more, right? And for what, 1 bar and an assist? Look how much damage that does. It is such a simple combo. All you have to do is practice these few mechanics. One other thing that I want to point out before I end this video is after you do the 2H in the air, you can actually buffer his level 1 as soon as you finish the inputs for that. And that just allows it to go straight into the level 1. You don't have to wait for them, because if you do wait after the 2H, even a little bit, it's actually going to miss. So let's see what that looks like. right? And you saw that we waited a little bit, even just a little bit, and it missed. So what you want to do is as soon as that down heavy goes, or when you press in that input, you just want to do something which is called buffering, and all that means is you're prepping the game or the computer or whatever or your character to go to the next input while that animation is still going. Um, So as you could hear from me and as you could see over there, while his leg was still going, like it was still kicking up, he was still doing his acrobatics, I was already mashing in that input, that prepping, that buffering into his air level 1. So that's the combo. I hope this helped you guys out. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let us know in the comment section down below. But it's been real, guys. This is Justin the Roshi once again. I hope everybody has a fantastic day, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.